Damn, son, where'd you find...
Here for TV, and I have a new guest, Randy, my brother.
Wow.
Wow, indeed. So
Hello, I am Randy. I am the host's brother.
he is. So Randy, you decided to do the podcast with me specifically so you can watch a really good movie that you saw that you wanted to watch, right? Well, why are you on here?
You mean the movie? No, I'm on here because we're getting ready to watch the AFI Top 100.
Yes. After watching this?
Mulholland Drive?
Yeah.
I mean, Mulholland Drive was good.
It was good?
It was really good, actually.
Yeah.
Now that I had about 40 minutes of stew after watching it, feeling pretty good about it. But I probably would have preferred Ben-Hur.
On the lowest of keys. I remember, yeah, because what is it? We just finished watching it, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And you were like, that's how it fucking ends? What is this?
I mean, it is a strange ending. It just kind of does.
It just stops.
I mean, I think chronologically, the last thing you see in the movie is, Rita. What's her actual name?
Carmela.
Carmela opening the box. I'm pretty sure, like, if you did a timeline of the movie, that's the last thing that happens.
Maybe?
I'm pretty sure.
We're gonna get into that, but first.
Yes.
Yeah. So everybody, we're talking about David Lynch's 2001 film Mulholland Drive. For a brief plot synopsis pitch. Okay, I'm gonna try.
I believe in you.
So, a hopeful actress travels to Hollywood only to be pulled into a dark conspiracy involving a woman who was nearly murdered in a car crash on the winding Mulholland Drive. With the woman left with amnesia, she and the actress search across Los Angeles in search for clues, to only be dragged into a psychotic illusion involving a dangerous blue box, a director named Adam Kesher, and the mysterious nightclub Silencio.
I'm sorry to do this to you, but you misspelled his name on there.
Yeah, you can go fuck yourself.
It's Kisher.
Kisher. Adam Kisher. Sorry,
No, it's okay.
This movie's hard, alright?
Okay, so what did you describe the film as? A dark conspiracy? It's kind of almost like noirish.
It does. It's
because the actress Betty, right?
Yeah.
Gets like engrossed in this like whole like conspiracy type of thing revolving around Rita, and it's kind of noirish.
This has been described as a neo-noir because it does have a whole we're in this weird kind of conspiracy thing, and we're uncovering a mystery that's going on. This woman has amnesia, and we're going through the beats of like a mystery story, a conspiracy story, but it's a surrealist like movie.
Thriller drama.
Yeah. Well, okay, I got it.
It does get quite surreal at sometimes.
It does. And like this movie comes out in 2001 and so I'm going to
feel pretty 90s.
Well, here's this. So this came out in 2001. You know what else came out in 2001?
What?
Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Oh god.
Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Rings, and Monsters Inc. Those were the 3 top grossing movies of 2001. And then this got released. This movie was in a different film landscape when it was coming out, right?
2001 was a banger of a year.
Oh, yeah, dude. Dude, that was just the top 3. It gets better. Shrek was this year, by the way. Also,
all of these movies came out in the same year.
Yeah, also Shrek came out, and that was the one that created the Best Animated Feature Oscar. That's how good 2001 was. It made an Oscar category. And this is also where we get Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in his first movie.
He's in this movie?
Not in this movie. A different movie.
Oh, why would you even mention it?
Because The Rock's in 2001, Randy. Scorpion King. Billy Ray Cyrus is in this movie.
Yeah, he's actually pretty good in this movie.
He's pretty good.
He's only in like one scene, basically.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But I mean, it was good.
It was good.
It was good.
It was good.
I liked it.
All right. So where the fuck do you want to start with this winding road of a film?
I kind of want to try and figure out, quote unquote, the plot, like.
The plot.
Yes. Like go like that's where I want to go directly into.
Okay.
Is that okay?
That is absolutely okay.
So the scene where they're at like the director's like dinner party, right? And Carmela's there.
Yeah. For context, this is at like the end of the movie, right? This is like the last
like probably
10 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes before the end. Mm-hmm. But this is kind of like a big scene in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
because it poses new questions and answers other questions
Yeah.
in kind of like a large sweeping manner to where like the interconnectedness of the whole movie. So how should I word it? So basically I'm pretty sure this scene takes place weeks beforehand, maybe a month beforehand, could be years, honestly. Basically setting up that Carmela knows the director and that Coco knows Carmela. And setting up why Diane
and Betty, they're played by the same actress.
God, that makes so much more sense now.
Right? Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, setting up Diane taking out the hit on Carmela.
Okay. Now, Randy.
Yes.
I have a theory for you.
Oh God.
This is drawn from like some shit.
Is it related to that scene though?
Yes.
Because I'm pretty sure, like chronologically, that scene takes place first.
Okay.
Or not first,
but earliest.
very early.
Okay. So, I have come under the assumption that most David Lynch movies, they work on dream logic, right? Hear me out here. Betty, she's at the party, right? Or Diane.
Yes.
Diane, Carmela, and she's like puts out the hit.
And what's her name? The lady that
Coco?
No. The lady that they eventually get the director to cast in the movie.
Well, that's supposed to be other Carmela. It's gonna get weird, dude. Just hold on a minute. Let me get there.
Okay.
So, that scene, whatever, that does take place chronologically. I'm thinking once we have Diana, once Naomi Watts starts playing Diana, that's the reality. And everything we saw before that was the dream, okay? Because Carmela is leaving Diane. Diane sets the hit out on Carmela, and she's so guilty about this, she has the fever dream where she reinterprets her life because she's a dead-end actress. She has no real prospects, and her life's not really going anywhere, and the woman she loves is leaving her. Now, Carmela comes back as Rita, somebody who's utterly dependent, utterly in love with Betty, who is Diana's, like, a nicer, happier, way more prospects, better than Diana is. And then the whole first half of the movie, or first, like, 4/5, is a dream. It's Diana's dream, man. I don't do drugs.
I don't like it. I don't like that explanation.
You don't like dream logic?
Well, you could make the connection based purely on that it's a movie by David Lynch.
Yes.
But I don't like to make that connection just based on who the director is. Like, to me at least, there's no real connection there in the movie itself. It's Diane going crazy insane near the end of her life.
I mean, she does see crazy grandpa crawl underneath her door and chase her.
Yes.
And she just shoot herself.
Yes.
And there's a cowboy.
Yeah, but the cowboy didn't really have anything to do with her.
What is the cowboy, by the way?
I think he's like some kind of hitman or something.
He's not Judge Holden from Blood Meridian?
I haven't read the book.
Oof, all right. I got a question. There's a lot of shit going on
that
here,
would
right?
make a lot of sense as a reference to Blood Meridian, but that's a whole nother thing.
Well, that'll be in a different podcast.
Yes.
All right, because this film's story is
weighty.
Very weighty. It goes all over Los Angeles. We're following all these different characters.
It's not told chronologically in any interpretation.
Not really. I mean,
I don't think there's a way you could ever interpret this movie as being played out chronologically.
I don't think so. I'm going to go with a big, broad question for you.
Sure.
All right. So, what do you think the main plot is, and do you think the film resolves the main plot at the end?
Yes, I believe the main plot is who is Rita.
Mm-hmm.
And it does get resolved that Rita is Carmela, who is this actress who was probably being replaced in Kisher's movie by these mob guys.
Okay.
Yes. Even though I'm not sure if they're mob guys, but they seem like mob guys.
They seem like mob guys, right?
Yes.
There's also the guy in the room with all the curtains.
Yeah, it was probably like some kind of alien.
You're going with the alien.
No.
Well, is this being a dream out of the realm of possibility? That guy's an alien? Absolutely.
No. It's just a joke.
Joke.
Just a joke.
All right.
It's not actually an alien.
Okay, because it is very difficult because I did this to Becky on the film club where she was like, "Oh, I want to talk about movies, do podcasts, whatever." I'm like, "All right, but I'm gonna start you off with the hard shit, and then it'll get easier." And I made her watch Eraserhead, and Eraserhead is
It's probably a harder watch than this.
much harder. It's less coherent, but this I feel is much rougher because this is way longer.
The thing with this movie though is that it seems coherent at first, and then it starts kind of losing you.
It starts drifting.
It starts going kind of wild near the end.
Yeah, it does. As soon as they get to the club thing after that, as soon as they get to Silencio, everything after that is just bonkers.
Yeah, first thing that didn't make much sense to me is when they open her purse and it has the blue box in it. That's the first part where it kind of goes like, okay, that's kind of weird. Like, how did it get there? Who put it there? Like, this doesn't make much sense because Rita has the blue key.
Yes.
Or, well, one of two blue keys in this movie.
There's
two blue keys.
Yes.
But, so she has the triangle key.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever knew she had the triangle key would know about Silencio, because obviously the two are linked. But then whoever knew she had the key would probably also be one of the people trying to kill her. So it's like, it stopped me. Like, I was like, what? When they get back to her room and Betty's like gone and she opens the box, because in my mind that's like when the movie like ends, because that's when chronologically it ends in my mind. In
your mind.
And so, because I'm sure you could make arguments of where this movie ends. I was just like, what? Like, what is going on?
I wish people could.
Where's Becky? Or not Becky? Where's Betty?
I wish people could see you right now, because you're like,
my eyes are going everywhere.
Your eyes are going everywhere. You look like you just need a cigarette and some coffee, and this is going to take you a minute. Oh God, because this is a David Lynch movie, right? And David Lynch has gone on record that's saying this movie has a coherent and followable plot. And he's like, this is an easy to follow movie, right? It's a little weird, but you can follow this.
Yeah.
Now,
get the gist of it.
I think the issue is that this is a very hard movie to describe, because there's so much going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. It would be pretty difficult to describe in a kind of coherent and concise way to somebody what the movie was about without leaving out too much.
What is it like when we were on like the break between the movies? You tried to describe it to like.
Yeah, our dad asked us what we were watching, and we said Mulholland Drive. He was thinking Mulholland Drive was
L.A. Confidential.
L.A. Confidential.
He was like, the one with Russell Crowe, right?
And it's like, no, it's this other movie with these girls, and there's like amnesia, and it was just so like. Having to describe what the movie was to him, it was difficult. I was like, there's these two girls, and the one has amnesia, and they're trying to figure out who she is, which is like the very, like, I think if you tried to be more descriptive about the movie, you'd start losing, like, coherency pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Than that. It's a movie about two girls where one of them has amnesia, basically.
And then they bang.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Also, I have something to comment about that. I saw something online. People were talking about how nobody touches nipples in movies. Mm-hmm. And I'm watching this movie, and I was like, these guys were wrong. This is so wrong. I was like, boys, this movie, there's nipple touching in this movie.
Oh, God. That is like that is one of the weirdest things.
About this movie? I don't know if it's actually a good, like, scene. It seems a little forced. Mm-hmm. Where it would play more into your idea of it being like a dream sequence, because it does seem like a little weird that like Rita is just like so like forthcoming,
and it's a little weird that Rita is basically going to bed buck naked, with somebody who they met earlier that morning. Again, I wish people could see you, because it looks like you're just grasping for straws everywhere.
I was gonna say something, but I totally lost my train of thought.
Well, let's get back on a different train of thought.
So, like, I don't think the scene's actually like that good per se, just because it seems so forced, but it makes more sense if it's like the whole like dream sequence. But also it makes sense because Rita doesn't know who they are, and Betty looks exactly the same as her former lover.
I'm going with they're the same person, Randy. I'm gonna say
I know they're the same person. IRL.
No. In the movie.
No.
Yeah.
So looks exactly the same. So obviously she's gonna be attracted to her, right? And Betty seems like, she's like this kind of like naive, like innocent, like girl, or whatever. I mean, she says to Rita that she like loves her in that moment, which is like it's a pretty virgin thing to do.
the Chad, Rita, and the Virgin Betty.
Basically.
Jesus.
I mean, she just goes to bed naked with her. Like, that's a pretty Chad move.
Oh god, I'm now imagining just it's Rita and it's just the Chad, the mecha Chad face. It's so bad. Oh god. Okay, back to this. Okay, so talking about Betty, she's this very naive, kind of wide-eyed character, right?
Yeah, I mean, they make a pretty big point of it, like when she arrives in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
Also, did they dub that whole scene over?
Which scene?
When she arrives in L.A.
They might have. I think so.
It seemed all dubbed.
I think so.
It kind of gave this kind of like dream sequence feeling.
Bro, get behind the dream storyline, all right?
No.
All right, so, well, here's my thing. Because Naomi Watts, she plays Betty, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
Diane. And she's playing Betty as this very, again, naive, wide-eyed. I just literally got off the bus from, like, Ohio. Not lying. For, like, the first section of this movie, I thought she was just a bad actress. And then we got to the audition scene. And I was like, oh, no. The rest of this is just a choice. You're a great actress. I'm impressed.
Yes. That scene was very good. That was a very good scene. I was like, oh, damn. Like, the lead up to where she's doing the, like, rehearsal with Rita or whatever, into that scene, I was like, oh, this movie's pretty good. I like this.
This girl got chops.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because we're seeing her play this character, and as she's playing her, she's acting, like, very weird and very stilted. And then she does, like, the first rehearsal with Rita, and you're like, okay, this is dinner theater production. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then she gets to the actual audition, and it's like, oh, Oscar clip, please. This is great. This is wonderful. So I was curious for you, was there like a particular performance or actor or whatever that stood out to you, or like a scene that you thought was like really good for the actor?
That was really good.
Yeah, discluding Billy Ray Cyrus, because I know he's the best.
That was great.
That was awesome.
But I think there was like 3 scenes of this movie that I really enjoyed.
That really sold you?
Yeah. I think the first one that takes place is not the audition scene. It's the shooting in that like office.
Oh.
Is that before that?
The shooting in the office. Yeah, that's before that.
That.
Yeah. Oh god.
I really liked that scene. That scene was good.
It was funny.
It was like some dark humor right there.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of set up that guy as being this really awful hitman.
Can we take a second to describe that scene? Because that scene is wonderful. This guy goes in. He's gonna steal like somebody's like address book.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm not pretty sure. There's nothing pretty sure with this movie. But I think this is prior to Rita's car crash, and he's trying to figure out where Rita is so he can take out the hit for Dan.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
We'll go with that.
Yes.
Cool.
But basically, he's trying to take out this hit to get this black book. He shoots the guy, tries to put the gun in his hand to set it up as a suicide, a supposed suicide.
Of course.
Shoots through the wall and hits some lady in her ass.
So he goes in and he tries to put a fucking like choke on her.
Well, yeah, he tries to subdue her so he can bring her back into the other office, like set it up as like a murder suicide or something.
Yeah.
But then he like falls over and she falls on top of him, and they have like this whole struggle. And as he's dragging her around to the other room, didn't take his gun, by the way, to shoot her with.
Of course.
Was gonna just subdue her with his forearm.
Of course.
But there's like this janitor that shows up in the hallway.
and he's just like, dude, she's really hurt. Come and help me. And she's like screaming and struggling. And this guy is like, all right, yeah, I guess. I'll be right there, man.
He doesn't say anything. He just stands there. And the hitman guy just like looks at him and just like, I bet he thinks it's all like fuck it. Just drags her into the room like,
whatever.
If he comes, he comes. If he doesn't, whatever,
There ain't no way you got a description of me.
And so he takes her out, and then the guy with, he's got, a vacuum cleaner with him, waddles in. He shoots him. The vacuum cleaner starts going crazy. Whatever. He's trying to set up the gun to the murder double murder suicide now.
Yeah.
And then the vacuum machine is making way too much noise, so he shoots that and it starts a fire. And then he just fuck it, grabs the black book and leaves.
That is so good.
It's so good.
Oh my god. And because we watched a mini interview with David Lynch that's on the Criterion edition of this.
Yes.
And they were talking about that.
Oh, by the way,
yeah.
Real quick, I specifically said I was going to mention this. The Criterion release does not have subtitles.
It doesn't need it. It's fine. We speak English.
Bruh. I needed subtitles.
I got you. Fine. But it's great because they were like, oh, this is such David Lynch humor. And I'm like, David Lynch, you a fucked up person, but you're really funny.
It was really funny.
It was good. I need a David Lynch comedy. That's what I need.
I do have 2 other scenes.
Ooh,
that I really enjoyed. The other one was the scene you also enjoyed.
The audition.
The audition. It is really good. Especially the continuation where she sees Kisher,
yes,
the director. Mm-hmm. I also enjoy that scene as well, but to a lesser extent. But the audition scene is very good. It sets her up as being a much better actress than she has seemed for the first half of the movie. Mm-hmm. But the third scene that I really enjoy is Silencio, especially the performance by the singer.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was really good.
Oh,
whoever
God.
she is, really good.
Randy's gonna go find that girl's mixtape, and it's gonna be fire.
I mean, it was excellent.
Oh, because you know what that is, right? I think it's a Spanish rendition of a Roy Orbison song called "Crying." Mm-hmm. It reminded me of Blue Velvet, which is David Lynch's 4th movie. I can't remember when it came out, but it came out years and years before this, in the 80s. Uh-huh. And they have a whole thing where there's the beautiful lady, she's singing Blue Velvet, and it's in this nightclub or whatever, and it kind of reminded me of this. But this, god damn, that girl can belt. I thought
very good.
I thought Silencio was also a really good scene because we have that weird performance before it where everything's on tape, and I thought that was just a weird,
the whole
dreamy
setup,
thing.
The whole setup for that club or performance hall or whatever the hell it is, is very weird because they go to it at 2:30, 3 a.m. something like that. Yeah, because Rita just wakes up in the middle of the night saying Silencio.
Oh, I have an epiphany.
Yeah, she has an epiphany late at night, and they go right then and there. But this place is open at 2:30 a.m. and there's people there that are actually watching it, and then they have the first performance, which is the Silencio guy, mm-hmm. who everything's on tape, and it's kind of this weird
it's almost like a spoken word.
Well, it's also kind of a cheesy magician's act where mm-hmm. he's oh look, I'm interacting with the tape kind of thing, mm-hmm. which is pretty low budget cheesy magician's act thing, but I think it's supposed to play into how sleazy the place looks.
Mm-hmm. Well, granted, it also goes into the performance after with the singer.
Yes, because she falls over while the music's still playing.
Yeah, and that also is insane because I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure this was dubbed in. Woman we see singing, we're not seeing a live performance. Yes. So it is kind of an interesting commentary David Lynch is doing on sound and music and dubbing and all that stuff, where it's everything's on tape and we're in our heads, oh well, no it's not, we're hearing people acting and talking and shit, but this is a movie, so yeah, they're dubbed in, that's a vocal performance that's been laid over the scene, so it is on tape, so it's kind of self-referential a little bit. He's referencing the artifice of the movie. Kind of, it is self-referential. Yeah, I say kind of as a garnish on my sentences. It's fine. But yeah, that's what's going on. It's a very interesting reference to the film and the artifice of filmmaking. The artifice of the dream, because this is a dream, damn it. It's not a dream. Get behind me on this. I don't think it's a dream. But the Silencio scene, I really like it mostly because of the singer. Mm-hmm. But also because it's kind of the break point in the movie to where it starts getting real crazy for me. Yeah. So I like it as kind of the cap to the stuff that made a lot of sense. And I think that also goes into another interesting thing. So you're saying the Silencio scene, after that, that's where things kind of go off the rails.
Yeah. In a big way.
In a big way. So, because this movie started its life as a television pilot.
Yes.
It was going to be...
forgot all about when we were watching the movie, which I think made the watch better for me, that I didn't remember that it was a pilot made into a movie. And then like afterwards realizing that, I was like, oh, that makes more sense. But I think it would have kind of lessened the watch enjoyability for me. Yeah, because like seeing that break, I would have immediately like, how do I put this? I would have immediately pinpointed that as like when they started refilming for the feature instead of the pilot. I would have been like, oh, this is the break point when like it would have kind of lessened the experience.
I gotcha. Well, that was kind of my question. I was gonna ask where you thought that break point was, and it's Silencio.
It's the end of Silencio, like basically when they go back with the blue box.
Do you think this movie would have, if this is a pilot and actually got made into like a TV show, do you think it would have worked, or do you think it as a movie works? Because I feel like the opening section, it's setting up all these different plot threads and things that, if this was a TV series, would have been explained over the course of, I don't know, 10, 12 episodes. Yeah, a season of a TV show. But now, it as a movie, and the last half,
I think it works either way.
You think it works either way?
I think it would have worked either way. I'm pretty sure, though, it makes a better movie than it would have made a TV show.
Really?
Yes. But not to say that the TV show wouldn't have been good. Probably would have been good. But the movie is very good.
Very good.
Very good.
Very good.
I wouldn't say it's like one of my favorite movies or anything like that, because it's just too strange for me.
You're a very not a fan of like this weird surrealist stuff going on.
Well, I like it occasionally, but like I like when they brush a little bit on top. But Lynch just kind of takes the whole bucket of sauce and just drenches it. like he just goes in on it. Like it's his way of doing it, and like I really enjoyed the latter half of the movie, or maybe not even the latter half, like the latter third of the movie, where it was getting more and more surrealist, especially the scene where she eventually like shoots herself and like little people are crawling out from under the door.
Yes.
And I'm like, this is starting to get like Eraserheady.
Good. That was the moment I just like picked up my popcorn. I was like, oh, this is getting good now. Oh, shit.
Almost the end. That was
it was great.
2 minutes or so before the end of the movie.
I know, and that's when I was like, this is the good shit. Because I ain't gonna lie, I really like Eraserhead. Yeah. Again, not one of my favorite movies. Again, it's even too weird for me. But it's, as a surrealist experience, it's an experience of a movie. You like feel that movie, and this is kind of like that. And I think it might be a thing with David Lynch. I'm always expecting things to get fucking weird.
I do like how that extremely surrealist bit was only near the end of the movie. Oh, I just remembered. We haven't discussed one thing. The two guys in the diner.
Oh, yeah.
And how they don't connect to anything.
And how that basically they're you and me every time we go to Denny's.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, I guess
where you just talk to me and I just kind of like stone face everything you say.
Yeah, you fucking...
Only comment on every third.
Yeah, you fucking prick. But yeah, it's that diner, because... Okay, here's the thing.
Well, the diner connects it together.
Yeah. They connect to something.
I don't think so.
Okay, hear me out here. So, the gentleman that's in the diner, we'll call him Eyebrows.
Yes.
Eyebrows is talking to his friend, Stoneface, and he's like telling him about his dream and how he saw the hideous monster, or the bum or whatever. He's explaining a dream, and the dream is real. He actually sees the bum, and he has like a heart attack or dies or whatever.
Passes out,
reinforcing that dreams and reality are crossing here. And we see him when Diana is at the diner.
That guy seems like he's not all there, though. Like, the person he's with kind of treats him as kind of like this crazy person. You didn't get that?
I mean, I got that he was treating him like...
very distantly?
Yeah, I didn't get the whole thing that he was treating him as like, oh, you're a crazy person and I'm like your handler or whatever.
Not, like he knows this guy. He was once an acquaintance of this person or a friend, but he's kind of like grown apart because this guy's not all there. He's getting kind of weird and crazy. That's kind of the feeling I get from it.
I don't know. I mean, granted...
Where he's like humoring this guy.
Well, he is humoring him, and us as the audience, we see that his dream is real. He relives his dream. It's like he saw the future. I'm just saying that moment is kind of where I pull the interpretation that this has a lot to do with dream logic and dream and reality melding. And that with us seeing that guy near the end with Diana, because that's the only other time we see him in the movie. We see him at the beginning where he describes his dream and his dream comes true. Yes. And we see him at the end when Diana's paying for the hitman and she sees him in the same diner.
Yes.
And I feel that her buying it and getting the blue key and all that stuff, that's her point of where her dream and her reality were crossing, right? So I feel this is a dream. All right, we're getting Shyamalan.
I don't really feel it. I'm sorry. Like
I
understand though that whole thing about the guy's dream coming true. It makes a lot of sense. But like you could explain it so many ways.
Mm-hmm.
Where he feels like something's back there because something is back there. That's why he dreams about it, because he knows something's back there. He just doesn't know what it is.
Mm.
And so it's like when he describes like the horrible face thing, it could just be a coincidence. What if the horrible face he saw in his dream was something totally different?
Randy just wants coherency all over the place.
I like coherency. I mean, I'm not afraid of a little surrealism, but like I like coherency. The first like 2/3 of this movie really dug it. The last third, if it was made by somebody else, I probably wouldn't have dug it.
Yeah, gotcha.
He is a master at his craft.
Okay,
I dug it.
I think that leads us here. So I guess overall thoughts on the movie. Like dislike, things you really liked and things you really didn't like. And we've already talked a lot about the surrealist coherency thing. Yeah. So is there anything else you were like was not a fan of or was a real big fan of?
So I was a really big fan of the way the movie was shot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the lighting in the movie. I know it's kind of weird coming from me because I don't know much about film.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed like the lighting in the movie. Even though it's kind of a weird choice, I liked how the beginning where it seemed like it was dubbed with her at the airport. What did I really not like? I guess most of the stuff with like the mob guys, I kind of didn't like.
It feels almost superfluous to what's going on.
Yeah, it seems like
very tangential to the main story we should be following.
Yes, but it seems like it should bear more weight on the story when these guys show up, but it really doesn't. And it's kind of irks me the wrong way. Like I know it's like it was a specific decision made by Lynch to do this that way. But I don't really appreciate it.
That's one of those things that probably would have gotten explained like halfway through the season.
If it was a movie or not
a TV show.
TV show.
A hashtag movie show. It's a moving picture show, boys. Holy
yes, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I can agree with you on that. Honestly, I like a lot of this movie.
I don't appreciate red herrings.
Oh.
I have a pet peeve against red herrings.
If you're gonna give me a red herring, at least give me an answer soon after.
Well, yeah, tell me it's a red herring. Like, because the movie ends without you knowing anything about those people.
Yeah, I guess that's a thing. We don't really know a lot about the mob guys. We don't know anything about the cowboy.
We're not even sure if they're mob guys.
Again, I feel your interpretation that the cowboy is an alien is pretty solid.
No, not the cowboy, the guy in the room.
I think they're all aliens.
They're not all aliens.
You don't know that.
No, the cowboy is a manifestation of the West, Dean.
It is Judge
He's
Holden
hairless.
from the Blood Meridian.
Technically, he is hairless.
Yes, it's fine. So, honestly, I can agree with you. I think how this movie looks is very visually unique. I really liked it, and honestly, I can see where you're coming from, where the mob guys are red herrings and don't really pay off. But I'm almost I almost kind of dig how fucking weird this movie just goes places and you're just rolling with it.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely one of those movies where you're riding with the movie. You're not in control. The movie's not in control. Y'all are both kind of grabbing for the wheel.
Let's see where Mr. Lynch takes us.
Here's another thing though with the movie is that I didn't really like the wardrobe for the two main actresses. It seemed kind of like they made weird choices with their wardrobe. Some of it made sense and some of it didn't.
Where are you getting at here? Because I couldn't think of many of the wardrobes in the movie that irked me.
Well, not like irked, but it just seemed weird to me because like most of the clothes that Rita wears are kind of like these very showy, like
it's very sensualizing clothes.
Yes, clothes. And Betty always, like, when she arrives, she's wearing that like top that's like too tight for her, like where it has like the like space between the buttons and everything.
Yeah,
and like it seems like something. You bastard! It seems like something not a real person would wear.
Seems like something Diana would wear.
No.
Diana doesn't wear a bra in the last half of the movie, Randy.
She didn't wear a bra at all.
Betty did.
Yes.
Randy, that goes in.
Also in the scene, Rita wasn't wearing a bra.
Of course she wasn't. She's Rita. But
in
Betty
one of
is...
the scenes, but not all of them, which seemed like it was like maybe an oversight.
This is the bra conspiracy, all right? When
Well, here's the thing. It's something that always... It's another pet peeve in movies or whatever, where they just like show people's nipples through like clothes for no reason. And it's like, is that supposed to be like a point? Like
it's
makes,
2 points, Randy.
God. It makes like... So, like, when Diane was talking to the hitman,
yeah,
but they're, like, outside with the other guy next to the van. It's kind of weird to describe these scenes.
Yes.
But, like, her nipples are very obviously showing through her blouse.
Yes.
Which I think was supposed to, like, make her out as being, like, trashy or whatever. Like,
I thought she was a prostitute, to be honest.
Or something like that. But, like, these choices are made, right, to have them not wear these things. But in only one scene... In only one scene could you see Rita's like nipples through her clothing, and it didn't do anything to the plot. I was like, was that just like a wardrobe thing where like somebody forgot?
I love how
it's just something I noticed. It's one of my it's like the Tremors TV show. That one lady never wore a bra on there.
Oh my god! Okay.
And I was like, is this supposed to like signify something about her character, or is this just to get more views because it's shitty TV?
Hey, the Tremors TV show was garbage, but it was hilariously garbage.
Because it's only one scene where it happens to Rita. And I'm just like, is this supposed to show her, like, sensual nature? I mean, because she's in, like, 3 love triangles in the whole movie. I mean, she has, like, 2 makeout scenes with Kisher. And she, like, almost makes love with Diane, but also makes love with Betty in the movie.
Yes.
And it's just like, I don't know. This is a really weird tangent, but it's one of those things where I'm like, somebody in wardrobe either messed up or Lynch was like, no. I need her nipples to show in this scene.
I like how it's like most people are like, oh, the lighting in this scene. Like, what does the director mean when they have like when they have this statue in this way? But what do the nipples mean, Mason?
Well, basically, it's front and center in like the shot. Like, it doesn't get more front and center than her chest. Like, it's like the shadows and the lighting. Like. This is something everybody notices. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, like, people aren't really going to admit it, but everybody notices when you can see nipples on screen.
Yeah.
So it's like, there must have been a choice made, but the choice didn't seem to bear anything to the movie. So it's just kind of weird. It was one of those things where I like noticed it, and then I was like, does this mean anything? And it didn't. And it wasn't one of the things in the movie where I thought, oh, does this mean something? And then it's like, oh, it doesn't. It's a red herring. It's one of those things where it's just like, I'm pretty sure somebody just forgot. And in a movie about things in which you don't just forget things.
I want this to be a thing, that there needs to be a theory on the internet, and it's called the Nipple theory about Mulholland Drive. Where it has to be like the scenes where you see nipples, those are the real.
Do you remember which scene that was?
Where what? You saw Rita's nipples?
Yeah, through her clothes. Do you remember what scene that was?
I don't actually remember the exact scene.
They were going from apartment 12 to 17.
Was it that the only part?
Yes, that was the only scene. And it wasn't even the whole scene. It was only one cut.
Because she's going through the reality into the dream world. You see the nipples when they're moving through.
She's going into reality where Diana's dead. Also,
but
it can't be a dream because Diana's dead in the dream.
Because Betty, dude, what if Betty shoots herself and this is the fever dream of her dying?
Diane?
Or what if Diane shoots herself and her interpretation of Betty is this dying, like, fever dream of the hope she could have had, and her seeing her body? It's her confronting her death.
But wouldn't the movie have ended there? It goes on. Like, I'm pretty sure if I shot myself and then, like, my brain was going all wibbly wobbly with my consciousness right before I died, and I imagined myself looking at myself in the third person dead, I'm pretty sure I would have, instead of walking out of the place holding Rita as she screams, I would have floated up into heaven.
Randy.
Through the ceiling. Like...
No, Randy. No, it's a Lovecraft story, because then you have to have another, like, 3 chapters of the guy going crazy.
I'm just saying that... Yes.
See, Lynch reads Lovecraft. That's what we've got.
But I don't think it can be a dream, because in your interpretation, Diane sees that Diane is dead after shooting herself. Doesn't make any sense.
And it being a coherent reality makes less sense.
No, it doesn't.
I think it does.
What doesn't make sense about it being coherent reality? Just because, like, your mind can't, like, jumble all the stuff into chronological order.
I feel like there's so much weird going on that it has to...
But it's like, you know, some of the weird isn't even, like, more weird than reality. Like, with the mob guys, with, like, the producers or whatever, basically, like, that's probably happened before. Just take out a hit on the main actress.
Fuck it,
you know,
it's fine.
Get like, you know, the main mob boss's niece in there. You know, like, whatever. It probably happened before. Not even that weird. Billy Ray Cyrus sleeping with some director's wife. Not that weird.
Probably happened.
Probably not that weird.
Probably not even. He was a good-looking man in the 90s.
I mean, he looked pretty good in that scene. Or he's just sitting with his shirt off in bed.
Just big chilling.
Just big chilling, being like, well, you know.
Walks in and she's like, "What are you doing home?" And Billy Ray Cyrus is like, "Honey, he's very distraught. You should let him handle this." And you're just like, Billy Ray never changed.
That was so good. You had the chillest response.
All right. So, we'll get to the final bit here.
Okay, sure.
So, would you recommend?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'd recommend to watch this movie.
All right. Any caveats? Any, like, recommendations with asterisks here? Should people be ready for a little bit of a long watch?
I mean, it's like 2 hours and like 10 minutes or so, I think.
Bruh, it's almost 3 hours long.
Is it?
Well, no, it's 2:30.
Okay.
2 hours 30.
2:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess I'd say, you know, I do recommend you to watch this movie. It's very good. It gets a little weird near the end. It's kind of long, 2.5 hours. But it's all in all worth the watch, and you'll have a lot to think about afterwards.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those movies you watch. This movie really benefits from having somebody to talk to after.
I mean, unfortunately, I'm probably going to, like, watch a couple videos on the movie after this, just because I need more closure.
I'm going to walk into your room tomorrow. You're going to have the red yarn across your room being like, okay, there's got to be a way going on here.
But I might have the notepad open.
You might have notepad open.
Be like, hold up. I got a theory. I linked all the scenes together in chronological order. I wonder if there's a cut. If somebody made a cut of this movie in chronological order.
There probably is. There's a chronological cut of Memento.
Oh, God. That sounds awful.
It's weird.
I've actually never seen that movie.
You've never seen Memento?
I've never seen Memento.
We should watch Memento.
I mean, it would kind of go on theme with this, of watching these weird, not chronological movies.
Memento is far more coherent than this.
Next we'll be watching Ben-Hur.
I would believe too. So well, everybody, I would also very much recommend this movie. I think people should just watch more David Lynch movies. That guy does interesting things with movies. But if you would like to continue listening to this, and if you like listening to me and Randy talk, we'll be starting our new podcast series, The Film Odyssey, where we go through the AFI Top 100. We'll be starting with Ben-Hur. Should be recording that next week, and it should be released soon.
The big question with Ben-Hur, will it be better than 10 Commandments for me? Because I'm a huge fan of 10 Commandments.
10 Commandments is like legitimately your favorite movie, or is it like top 3?
Definitely top 3.
Easily top 3?
Easily top 3.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to know the answer to that, tune in next week and keep up with us. If you want to listen to more of this, you can find this on Anchor FM, Spotify, Apple Podcast, anywhere where podcasts can be found, as well as the YouTube channel In the Frame, where you can listen to the Film Club podcast, which I mentioned already, as well as the Double Feature podcast or the Double Feature Picture Show. And with that,
good night.
Good night.